Eventually something will show up. Alrighty. We're live. Woohoo! This is fun. So Dina and I would like to welcome you to day 3, and we're talking today about, what are we talking about today, Dina?
Accountability.
Woohoo! That's one of my favorite topics. But Dina's going to give us a little recap of the last 2 days, and then we're going to start talking about accountability and why that is so incredibly important. So go, Dina, go.
Yes. Well, welcome back, everybody. Day 3. Exciting. I think accountability is one of the most important things that we need for ourselves to be successful in any realm. So, on day 1, we talked about community and we talked about how important it is to have support, especially as an entrepreneur, business owner, where you feel like you're on the island all by yourself and you have all these pressures and all these stresses and a lot of weight on your shoulders, and how a community can really help you see your blind spots and also help you see a way forward and help you with strategy, or help you with creative ideas. And then on day 2, we talked about collaboration, which I think goes into the accountability groups that we have and how people can form relationships on a business level and be really supportive of each other. And the more we talked about, the more authentic and vulnerable you are talking about what your struggles are, the more you can get the help you really need. And you can get people who are seeing things that you can't see for yourself. And it's really powerful. And we just all have to be open to, the connection with other people and the feedback from other people, and also being very in tune with what the other people need for you to give to them. So that is all about community and collaboration. And today we're going to talk about accountability in a few different ways. I think the first is we have to be accountable to ourselves. And I think that's really hard sometimes. And Christopher touched on that yesterday, where it's like I can make a commitment to myself, but I can also change my mind because I'm the only one who knows about it. So if you have a small accountability pack in our mastermind where you have 3 other people who know what you're saying you're accountable for the following week, then you're more apt to get it done. And you're more apt to get it done for yourself, just knowing that you told them you were going to do it. So I think it's really a good way to push yourself when you know there's something you need to do and you're not really wanting to do it. And it's a good way to have somebody help you be accountable to yourself. The other thing I think is really important is just taking action. So when you're alone with your thoughts in your office and you have a lot of things that need to get done, how are you being accountable to taking action on those things that need to be done? Are you putting it in your calendar? Are you having a to-do list? And I think the to-do list thing, I used to have a to-do list every day, and I would write it every morning about all the things I had to do, and it was overwhelming. And I think I've heard many people talk about this, but I really think if you take 3 top things every day that need to get done and do the hardest one first, I think that is the best way to be productive. Sometimes you'll get those 3 things done. Sometimes you'll get way more than that done because you're on a roll. So, Christopher, you want to add some?
I do. When you're talking about pick 3 things and do the biggest one first, I always think of Brian Tracy and his book Eat the Frog. I think it's called Eat the Frog. And he says, if you have to eat a frog, just do it first and get it over with. And if you have to eat 2 frogs, well, eat the biggest one first. And it's just a great analogy for the importance of doing the thing that we know we need to do, and yet forcing ourselves to get it done and over with. because in my own life, what I've learned is that whatever the thing that I think is the challenge of this, it's never as big as I think it is. I blow it up in my own head to be some monstrous, gigantic thing, when really, sit down, start, and you'll be done in some period of time, 15 minutes, half an hour, whatever. Yeah, eat the biggest and ugliest frog first. Yeah, that's really what I want to share.
Just thinking the same thing in my head, so thanks for saying that.
That's perfect then.
I also think that, if you do have a team and you have something that you're consistently dreading doing, find someone else on your team who is better at doing that thing because
Amen.
it will, there were some times when I delegated something that I didn't really want to let go of, but there were people on my team who had better skills in different areas than me. And sometimes I delegated that and then it was done much better because they were better at doing it. So think
Absolutely.
about that.
Yeah.
So, taking action is huge and being accountable to taking action that you need to do to be successful is a big deal. But the other thing I want you to do is talk about investing in yourself because when I started investing in learning, I mean, I went to college, I got a degree, I did a whole lot of work for decades that had nothing to do with my degree. And, as a business owner, we're so ingrained in the operations and the day to day, like what has to be done, what client needs me, blah, blah, blah. What is it that you need for you? What is it that you need to do to be better at what your job is as a business owner? Is it you want leadership coaching? You want some kind of course that teaches you how to set boundaries or um, somehow take better care of yourself. I have one of those courses. Um, just
Yes.
there's a lot of things you can do for you to make yourself better at what you do. And I think, I used to think, well, I started this business, it's my baby. I know it better than anybody else, and I know what I need to do. But towards the end of my tenure at Realize Colorado, I started talking to coaches and leadership coaches and financial coaches and people who were teaching me things that I did not know or I did not understand enough. Because at that point, I was really looking at how can I sell this business in 5 years or 10 years or whatever it is. And really started learning so much just about business operations that I maybe knew something about, but I wasn't an expert on. And so it gave me a lot of insight into how I could change things in my business to make it more efficient, more productive, and more profitable. And so I think that that is really important, even if you're a solopreneur, even if you're, in business for 6 weeks, it's always important to be learning new things, new techniques, new tools, new resources, and the connection and the community and the collaboration is just as important. So I think that's what I wanted to say today about accountability. But I think it's, you have to be willing to put yourself first sometimes and invest in yourself if you need to and do the things that are going to make you better and make you more money in the long run because you learned things that were outside of your comfort zone.
There's a couple things you touched on there, Dina, that I want to just dive in a little bit more. One of the things you talked about was the accountability packs and how you get to know a small subset of the Wolfpack Mentors mastermind group really, really well and more intimately and all that kind of stuff. So it's that know, like, trust factor that I think there's a couple things that are really, really powerful about those accountability packs in my mind. One is the ease and the speed with which that know, like, trust factor gets built amongst that group, as well as the accountability aspect of it, of just simply, if I don't show up, I'm letting the other three people down. That's such a in my brain, that's such a huge thing. Is like, because like Dana said that I was talking about yesterday, like easy for me to blow off an obligation to myself because nobody knows about it. No one will know that I didn't do the thing I said I would do. Only I do. Well, and one other guy, perhaps, yeah. But that commitment to someone else, I'm not going to blow that off. Like I will crawl over broken glass to make sure that I hold up my commitment to you. And I want to share a story about the collaboration that I talked about yesterday with Nicholas. Him and I were co-writing a couple of books together, both of which went on to be Amazon bestsellers, which was kind of fun. But one of the things when Nicholas and I were talking about our process, that he said to me, well, the hour before we're scheduled to meet is the most productive hour of my week. And I found that interesting and I found it amusing just because of who Nicholas is. And yet, when I look at my own life, the same thing is probably pretty true. Like this morning, there were some things that I hadn't done in preparation for today. And it was like, oh my goodness. And I needed to get those done. And it was a commitment because we're here with you. It's a commitment to my partner that I'm not going to blow that off, not ever. But the other thing I wanted to touch on, you were talking about investing in yourself. And that really takes on a couple of different ways. Well, I shouldn't say, a couple of different permutations of ways. No matter what you're doing, you're investing your time. So whether you're doing like I've done for most of the things in my life, is if I decide that I want to learn something about a topic, I dive in with both feet and I learn everything I possibly can until I have solved whatever the problem that learning that stuff needed to be. So an investment of time. Dean Graziosi talks all the time about the reason for joining a group of other individuals is that if you're joining a group of people who have been or who are where you want to get to, when you cut that check for speed, to use Dean's language, you're able to shortcut that path to success because they're going to help you avoid all those pitfalls that they fell into along that journey. So those are the two really important aspects of it. So no matter what, you're investing your time because no matter what you're doing, you have to show up, you have to do the work, you have to build the processes to deliver your own results. And there are times in life where it simply is more worthwhile because my time becomes more valuable than my money at some point. And so it simply makes sense to cut that check for speed, as Dean Graziosi says. So when we're talking about accountability, there's a gazillion ways to do it. You don't have to work with us. You can if you like. We would love to do that. But one of the biggest things is find someone who you respect, who you trust, that you will show up for no matter what. Really, really important for your own progress. So that was my thoughts on it, Dina. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, it's funny because the person I hear that says that is Barry Baumgartner.
Oh,
Um, she talks about, cut a check for speed, or the other thing she says is like something about hand holding. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, I agree with everything you just said, Christopher. And I think it's nothing is going to change in our lives without us investing in ourselves. And if that means investing in yourself with time or with money or with resources or all three,
all three, yeah.
whatever it is, like we're not going to get where we want to be without taking action. And we have to be able to hold ourselves accountable for taking that action if we want to be successful. And so I just, I remember in 2010, I was that girl in my recliner with the laptop 24/7. And I would answer clients at 2 a.m. because I just wanted to be successful and I wanted my business to get off the ground. And for probably almost 2 years, I worked really, really hard around the clock. And my husband would travel a lot back then. So a lot of times I was there by myself. And Nobody was there to say, hey, Dina, you need to eat something or you need to take a break. So I can relate to that in a big way. And I think that in those early stages, sometimes that's what you have to do. But you also need to have input or outside learning where you know you're doing the right things. Because I think there was a lot of time wasted for me during that time because there wasn't so much online stuff to go learn about how to set up your marketing message, or that wasn't a thing back then. It was very different, and now we have so much more access to so much information. It just doesn't make sense that we don't take the time to learn what we need to learn so we can be the best version of ourselves.
Great point. The there was a thought running through there. It's apparently ran away now. The helping ourselves do what we're supposed to do. I think one of the things that I love about Dina and me working together is that we have very complementary skill sets. We have a bunch of overlap in certain areas, and then we have a bunch of complementary areas where she's better at one thing and I'm better at another, and it just really helps make things work. And when we bring other people into that mix, it's really beneficial because we're simply able to go further, faster, easier, and better. Like that's for me the whole point of it all. So what I'd like to do now is invite you to join us for 3 months in the Wolfpack Mentors Mastermind, and I want to just walk you through a few things that we do in the mastermind group, so you get a comprehension of everything that's involved, because accountability truly is the cornerstone of everything that we do. So the first part of that is our private mastermind community. So think of this as a Facebook group without all the distractions on Facebook. It's where you can show up, you can ask questions, you can answer questions for other people, you can talk to your group and everyone else in the mastermind whenever you want to, knowing that somebody will pop in and either answer your question or ask a clarifying question of their own so that they better understand what it is that you need. So that's a really, really important and powerful aspect of accountability for us. One of the other things that we do, and I love this, we just finished a 5-week training session on messaging actually, which was really fun. We have 12 weekly training sessions, so every week we train on something. And when you decide to join us, one of the questions that we ask you is, what is the area that you want to learn about? Because if there's something that you and everyone else is like, yeah, this is the topic we want to learn about, great. Dina and I can either teach that or find someone who's an expert at that and have them come in and teach it to us. So those training sessions are really, really valuable, and they cover everything from mindset, strategy, tech, all of the rest of it. Now, the Success Seat Live Mentoring, we do this once a month, and it's slightly different than what we do inside the individual accountability packs, in that in the accountability pack, there's 4 of you. We keep it to groups of 4 to maintain that intimacy, to maintain that openness, the vulnerability, the trust, all that kind of stuff. But what we like to do every month is to bring everyone together, the entire group, where we're helping one person solve their biggest problem. And so there's an application process for that to get into that Success Seat Live Mentoring. But it's a really powerful thing because it helps you get input from a lot of other people who may not be in your field, but they'll understand the problem from their perspective and can offer some interesting things to help figure that out. We also do a monthly Q&A session, which is not the same thing. It's more like, do you have a question about any topic in the world? Bring it, we'll figure it out together. So we do that once a month as well. And then of course there's the weekly accountability packs. And this is the core of everything that we do. I call these the one meeting a week you simply cannot miss, or you're not going to get the benefit of the Wolfpack Mentors Mastermind, because this is where all of the growth of you as a person, you as a business owner, you as an entrepreneur, that's where it's all going to happen. Everything else that we do is designed to support that. And then because we offer a free GHL account to everyone who joins the mastermind, we also hold a weekly office hours so that whatever the issues you have with the platform, learning how to do something, what's the best way to accomplish a specific task, we get together every week and you can ask whatever those questions are, and it's a first come, first served basis, and we answer those questions as long as there's someone asking them. So that's a really valuable thing because, yes, there's lots of support out there in the world, but Dina and I have been at this for a little while, and there's some things, ways that we've learned of doing things that will, again, shortcut your learning of the platform if you're not familiar with it. And then, of course, there's the Member Hub, which has all of our communities. It also houses all the recordings of all the trainings we do. So we're doing new trainings all the time, and every one of those things gets stored in the Member Hub, in the recordings area, in the Learning tab, if you will. And you have access to all of those. Everything we've ever done, you have access to. Everything we do have to do going forward, you'll have access to. And so all of that is available to you. And if you add all that stuff up and pay for it one at a time, it comes up with some absurd value of like $11,000. And as they say on TV, but wait, there's more, right? Well, of course there's more, because I want to get to some of the bonuses that we're offering when you join us this time around. Number one, of course, is that free Go High Level account. This is a really, really powerful platform. As Dina and I talked about, I think more on day one, we were both using a variety of platforms. Like I was big into WordPress. Dina was using a couple of other tools. So we had different tools for the website. We had a different tool for the email system. We had a different tool for every little aspect. And then the nightmare, of course, is trying to get them all to work together. When we came across GHL, we Go High Level, we discovered, oh my goodness, it has all the pieces and they actually work together. So for both of us, that was one of those like aha moments, you know, angels singing from heaven, if you will, because the problems that we were facing went away in a heartbeat. So one of the reasons that we formed Wolfpack Mentors was so that we could form a white label Go High Level agency and then offer that benefit to people who join us in the mastermind. And so we do that. And I'm putting a value of $591 on this, which is basically $200 a month. Dina and I were actually on a training recently where someone was charging $500 a month for access to a Go High Level account, which, hey, that's great if you can get it. Awesome. But we want to give that to you free for joining us in the mastermind, because it is the tool that's going to help you propel your business forward faster and easier, along with the support that you're getting inside the community. And then Dina's talked about her course, the Genius Equation course. It's great. This is how you will unlock all of the genius that you have inside you, and it's a great program. Did you want to just share a bit about that, Dina, while we're here? I think that you should.
Sure.
You're going to say it way better than I will.
Yeah, it's a 4-module course that I created probably a couple years ago now. And it's really about, we start by talking about the book I mentioned the other day, The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, and how your zone of excellence versus your zone of genius. And that book is what prompted me to make this course, because I wanted to explore it for myself. And so we do talk about that concept, and then we also talk about mindset, and then we have worksheets that you can do that kind of like our messaging course we just taught, where we have worksheets where it helps you get more clear on what is your purpose in the world. And a lot of people think they might know that, or they might have an idea of a few things they think their purpose is. It just helps them get more clear. And then I do my Becoming MIA visualization at the end of it, which is a really awesome thing to just sit and listen to and let your mind wonder about how that can help you on an ongoing basis with creative ideas.
Yeah, it's that. I love that visualization. I do a similar one for writers, but yeah, that one is really, really delightful. And then, so you'll get Dina's Genius Equation course, and then I also offer my D'Armani Method course to help you write a book. So if you have a message you want to share and you want to use a book to help get that message out, then this course will give you all the tools that you need, including my manuscript math calculator, which helps you determine to the day how long it'll take you to write your first draft. Really fun little tool, really powerful tool, because that thing, in my experience, kicks open the doors of possibility for people who think, well, writing a book takes a really long time, or it's really, really hard. Well, it can take a long time, and it can be really hard, but it really doesn't need to be. And so I'll give you all those tools inside that particular course as well. So when you join us, those are some of the bonuses you get. So what I'd like to do is just to recap the entire thing and then share with you the small investment that it will take for you to come and join us. So you'll get the private Wolfpack community, which has all the opportunities for learning from courses, from talking with other people, getting accountability, our weekly training sessions, our monthly Success Seat live mentoring, the Q&A conversations, and the cornerstone of all of it, the accountability packs, the weekly office hours for all the CRM learning you'll need to do, and then the member hub and recordings, and of course, all the bonuses. And so all of that together comes up with this crazy value of almost $13,000, and we don't charge anywhere near that because, well, we just don't. This time around, we're offering it to you for $697. That's a special invitation because you're here with us going through this 3 days of figuring out, or of learning about community, collaboration, and accountability. Those are the pillars that we run by. So if that sounds interesting to you, if that sounds like the thing that's going to help you drive you and your business and your life forward to the way you want and achieve that mountaintop of success you're looking for, you can get started today one of two ways. You can pay in full, which gives you the $697 price, pay in full, and as an encouragement, as a incentive to pay in full, you can have a one-on-one session for an hour for Dina and with Dina or I. You choose who you want to go hang out with for an hour. Or there's the split pay option, which is just 2 monthly installments of 2 times half that price. So two times $348.50, I think is actually what it is on the sales page. And I just want to point out that so many people, when they're doing split pay stuff, they charge you more for not having the full amount at your disposal in that moment. And that's something that Dean and I utterly despise. Why should I be penalized because I want to manage my cash flow in a way that works for my life? It's nonsense. So we don't do that. So we literally take whatever the enrollment price is, cut it in half, and that's what the 2 installments are. And so to join, go to wolfpackmentors.com, join WPM. And I'm going to just toss that into if I can find where I put it. And I can't find it. Well, let me just throw that into the chat. So let's go to HTTPS. This is for the folks on YouTube. What did I say it was? Join. Come and join us. If you know that this is the thing that you're missing, if you're needing that accountability, this is the tool and the system with a couple of folks who've been there and done that, who can help you achieve that next mountaintop of success that you're looking for. So with that, I'm going to just toss it back to Dina for any final thoughts she might have.
Yeah, I think I'm super excited about what Christopher and I are doing because I've paid so many people in groups and courses and learned a lot. And it gave me perspective of what I liked and didn't like, especially the pricing model like Christopher just talked about. Because I was that person that needed to make payments and it always cost me more than the people who could pay in full. And that made me really mad, to be honest. So I think, there are things like that Christopher and I have seen, and we've gotten to make the decision to do it differently. And I think that's also goes about the Go High Level account because, like you said, people are charging anywhere from $200 to $300 to $500 a month for someone to have that account for their business. And it doesn't mean they're teaching you how to use it. They're just giving you the platform and the account. And we think that the value is the mastermind and the community and the collaboration and the accountability packs. And the tech platform is a tool that we all need. And as long as you're paying to be in our mastermind, you're gonna have a free account in our Go High level. If you know, if that, if it's somebody that comes to us and knows how to use it and just wants an account, then yeah, we will sell it to them for a monthly fee. But that's not our goal. That's not what we're trying to achieve here. We really want to help people with all the different things you need to grow a business. And we're passionate about it. And I would love to have all of you join us. And I think, Christopher, I don't know if you had a plan to say this, but we are going to have a live Zoom Q&A tomorrow. And I need to,
Thank you
I'm
for
not
that.
sure but I'll let you talk about that too.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for reminding me because I had completely forgotten about the Q&A conversation tomorrow. So it'll be held at the same time, 11 a.m. Pacific, noon. I keep wanting to say Central, noon Mountain, and you'll get if you signed up for the challenge, you'll be receiving emails all about that. And if you aren't signed up yet for the email series on the challenge, just go to wolfpackmentors.com and sign up using that, and you'll get all the automations, all the emails automatically for the Q&A conversation tomorrow, which will be live on Zoom, and a couple of other things we've got going on, as well as the coupon code if you want to get the $6.97 price. So for those who are already on the list, check your email because we emailed you out the coupon code as well, just to make it really easy for you. And if you're not on the list, just sign up and we'll make sure we get that to you as well.
And when they sign up, they go to wolfpackmentors.com and it still says waitlist.
Oh, yes, it does. We just hadn't changed the wording on that. That is the one to use. I'll also be putting a separate pop-up onto the pay in full form, so just to send you the code. So yeah, just get signed up, get the information, and then on the replay page, just go through all three of these sessions again, just to make sure that you understand exactly what we're talking about, what we're offering, why we think what we're doing is so important, and most importantly, why we believe that we can help you grow your business the way that you want and the way that you need, so you can live that life that you dream about when you first started your business. Nobody dreams of starting a business and working 24/7. Everybody dreams of starting a business and then go lying on the beach in Costa Rica or something. So there is work in between those 2 points, absolutely. And Dina and I can help you get through those points easier and faster with far less friction and far less pain and agony than if you were to go it alone. Really simple in my world.
I just want to throw this out there that in 2025, we are going to be doing some in-person retreats. We don't have dates or places yet, but that is coming. So if it's also something you're like, online's fine, but I really would rather meet people in person. We are going to have that option in the coming months. So I'm excited about that.
Because my partner here to my left is the event queen. So yeah, in-person events. I'm looking forward to learning a lot about that because while I did a variation on the theme, I guess, in the movie industry, this is a whole different thing. And I'm going to sit back and twiddle my thumbs and watch whatever magic she spins, and it's going to be really cool. It's going to be really cool.
It is.
Again, I just want to bring whoops, wrong. Let me try that button. wolfpackmentors.com/join-WPM. And come join us. We're leaving this open until Sunday night at midnight Mountain Time. So you have up until then to decide, but jump in early, make that commitment, make that investment in yourself that perhaps you need to. Like Dean and I were talking about earlier, you can either invest your time, your money, or both. And sometimes it just makes a lot of sense to do both. So that's what we're offering, is that opportunity to cut that check for speed, as a couple of people say. And we look forward to seeing you inside the mastermind. and we look forward to starting with you on the onboarding call that goes on Monday. So no time like the present. Dive on in, come join us.